Hey guys, what's up? Ginge and welcome back to another tutorial. I'll apologise again about it being a while. I've had a lot going on recently, but managed to get around to making this one today. So today I'm going to be showing you, or this evening I'm going to be showing you how to change the colour of a skin using the hue and saturation effect in Adobe After Effects. Obviously, if you've seen my selective colours video, you would have seen me use this quite a lot in there. It worked quite well. Maybe when the knife got flipped out and the colours were changed on the knife or the AK, things like that. It's quite simple and it's quite effective actually. It works very well. So the first thing that we want to do is head over to your internet browser and search for HLAE. And we're going to download the latest version of this. Now, if you already know how to create, record streams inside HLAE, then I'll leave an annotation on the screen right now that you can skip through the video, so you can kind of get to the bit where I start talking about the effect. If not, carry on watching, that's not a problem. We're going to head to this link here, which will allow us to download the most recent version, which at the moment is 2.12.0. So we're going to hit the download there. That'll download it for us here. So we will open that up, and I'm just going to make a folder on my desktop, HLAE. For the moment, I've already got this, but I'm just for demonstration purposes, so we want to highlight everything out of here and drag and drop it into there. So now in this folder we've got all of our HLAE folders, or files even. So now what we want to do is open up the program, click run, and yes, we do want to check for updates, very important. And so from this point here, obviously it doesn't look like much, but we're going to head over to File, Launch CSGO. And in here, there's just a few bits you need to put in. So the CSGO exe file, for instance, obviously mine's in my D drive, games, Steam apps, common, Counter-Strike, and then it's CSGO in here. So if you don't know where we go in, Steam apps is where everything's normally kept for Steam games, common, Counter-Strike global offensive, and then the CSGO application just there. Hit open. And then the custom command lines, you can leave them as you are if you want. I like to add no vid, just because I don't like the starting up videos. Aside from that though, you're ready to go, so you'll hit launch. And what this will basically do is launch Counter-Strike in what's called an insecure mode. So what HLAE is essentially a hack, right? So it's modifying game files. However, because we've loaded it up with that insecure flag, you'll see it says here you've launched it in insecure mode, so we can't join any VAC servers, but what that means is we cannot get VAC banned. So it's very good in terms of keeping you safe. So at this point, I'm hoping you've got a demo that you're going to be recording from. I'm going to head to my downloads and watch this demo. Basically here, my friend gets a few kills with his Asimov, and we're going to be changing the colour of the Asimov every time he gets a kill. So let's skip to him there. What tick are we on? 413. So we're going to go Merv, skip tick, about 45,500. So I'm just going to skip forwards to where it approximately is. It'll be this round, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is adding in a few streams now. And so basically, if you've never used HLAE before, basically each stream is a different layer, if you like, of video. So we're going to add a raw layer, which will just be the world, and we'll also have a green models layer, which will be a complete green screen apart from the weapon and the player model. So to start with, a load your console, type merv _ streams add baseFx raw. Okay, basically what that will do is make our raw layer for us. But if we were to preview this now, nothing would change really, apart from the HDR being turned off. All these are going to be in the description, by the way, all these commands, so don't worry if I'm going a bit fast here. So in order to combat that, we want to edit it. So we're going to go merv streams, edit, raw, player models action, invisible. So that'll mean that the player models are not showing on that layer, and we also do the weapon models action. So what that will do is also make sure that the weapons aren't there. And the last thing that we're going to do is merv streams, edit raw, drawhud 1 because we're going to be recording with draw only death notices set to 1, so we want to make sure that the sniper scope is still visible on this layer. So now if we do merv_streams preview raw, what you'll see is now the gun disappears, all the HDRs stand off. This is pretty much it. So if we went to see if we went to draw only death notices 1 right now, this is all we would see, just the raw map, which is quite good. So we'll turn the preview off there, and we're going to add another one here. This will be our green screen one. So again, mervs_streams, add matteEntity. I'm just going to call this models. And as you can see here, it does say that it's not really the best, but what we're going to be using it for is absolutely fine. It says you can use alpha matteEntity as well if you wanted to, but again, what we're going to be using this for is absolutely fine. So if you wanted to see how that works, you can go to merv_streams preview and then models. And as you can see, this is now previewing the green screen layer. So again, none of this HUD will be there. It will literally be the weapon and the player models. So that's quite nice there. So now we've got our stream set up. We want to make sure that these are going to be saved in the right place. So we're going to go to merv_streams record name, and then 2 quotation marks, and this is where we're going to put the directory of the file or the folder even we want to save them to. So for mine, I'm going to save them into my D drive, videos, and then tut. That's the folder I'm going to save them into. You can change that to whatever you want. And then we're also going to make sure that the format, so merv_streams record format, is set to TGA, which we have now. And then if you want to, you can do merv_streams print, and this is just basically going to show us the 2 streams that we've gone. Make sure that they're both set to on for recording, so the raw on and the models are also on. Excellent. Now on to the kind of default commands. We're going to make sure that our host underscore timescale is set to 0, and our host frame rate is set to 120. Obviously you can change to 120 to whatever you want. Try and keep it up in 60 increments, so like 60, 120, 180, because then when you compress it back down to 60 FPS for YouTube, it's going to kind of keep the same time. So then we want to do CL underscore draw only death notices 1, so you can see that gets rid of everything there. The health will go in a moment. And then literally we're going to hit start. So we're going to scrub forwards a bit here until it gets to about here, which is where we want the players to start coming from. And then we're going to hit merv_streams record and then start. So once we press enter, this is basically going to start recording here for us. So there we go, we've hit enter. We'll hit resume and close this. So as you can see, this is now the layer being recorded, or both layers simultaneously being recorded here. So I'll come back to you once we finish the recording, and we'll hop into After Effects. Okay, so I've got to a point here where I'm quite happy with the recording, so I'm going to load up the console, and instead of start, we'll just put stop, or end, sorry. It's not stop, it's end. So mervs_streams record end. That will stop recording the movie for us. So we'll see it will freeze for a second here whilst it stops that, and then we'll just pause that. So this is us now done with Counter-Strike. So what we're going to do is just hop into the console and type quit. That will load or unload Counter-Strike if you like, and close it down for us. And this is the point now where we're going to hop into After Effects. So we don't need HLAE open anymore. We're just going to open up After Effects and start editing. So basically, in terms of project settings for this, you can kind of keep them as they were. Obviously, we've recorded in 120 frames per second, so you want to take that into consideration when we are editing them. So what we'll do is we've saved them into a folder here called tut. And if it's your first time recording, it will be take 0000, and then obviously as you record more and more times, then it will slowly go up and up and up. So you can see now in here we've got two folders. We've got our raw folder and our models folder, so exactly the two layers that we started off with. And also in the most recent update of HLAE as well, also records the sound for you now, which is obviously very, very handy. So first thing we're going to do is import our raw layer. So you want to click on the first frame, which will be 00000, and make sure the checkbox down here, target sequence, is checked, and then hit import. And what that will basically do is import all the different files along that same one. And we also want to import now our models, so we're going to double click in our models, click the first frame, make sure target sequence is on, and import that as well. So now we've got two layers, if you like. We're going to drag and drop those both onto our timeline. Sorry, in fact, no, we need to make a composition first, so it might be handy. It's a new composition. I'm going to set it to 60 frames per second. That's going to be fine. And for the moment, I don't know, I'll leave it at about 45 seconds. I doubt it's that long, but there we go. So we'll set those, and let's move on our two layers. So you can see at the moment, obviously it starts off like that, but we'll cut forwards a little bit here to where the green actually starts. Okay, and then over here is where it about ends, so we'll do that, trim it down, so we've got a nice little composition to work for. Oh, hello. Scope goes up there for some reason. Oh, that's when you were in the thingy, whatchamacallit, scope. That's it, thank you. Anyway, so the first thing that we want to do once we have hopped into here, obviously if you drag them in together, then they're already going to be lined up. If not, you want to make sure you do line them up at this point. But we want to head over to our effects panel and type in something called keylight. That will give us keylight 1.2 or whatever version it is. Drag that onto your top layer, which will be your green models layer, and change the screen color to the green. Very simple starter there. So you can see now we are in the green and the HUD is there and everything. Still don't understand why that scope is up there, but okay. It's been weird, Counter-Strike, recently. Like the whatchamacallits have been playing up a bit, the recordings. So that's fine. We'll sort that out at a later date. That's not a problem. So basically what we're going to be doing is changing the changing the color of this orange to a different color, basically. So the first thing that we want to do is duplicate this layer, which will be our green models layer. So let's just rename this. I want to name that to models and that to world. So what we want to do is duplicate our models. Okay. And so basically that's going to give us two models. You can actually see nothing happens at the moment because nothing's happening, basically. But what we want to do with this one as well is we are going to also use another key light here that we drag onto here, and this time we're going to set the screen color to this orange, let's say. Now as you can see, it's going to darken it down a little bit because nothing's really on the underneath layer of it. So what we're going to do is kind of play around with that a bit, but if we grab the hue/saturation effect and put that on the lower level now, if you begin to turn this dial, you can see the color actually already starting to change. So what this is basically doing, if you're a bit lost, let's back it up a bit and slow down. So you've got your world layer, which is your raw layer, just the world. And then your models layer, which is your green screen layer, green screened, okay? And with the green screen, we've thrown on a hue and saturation effect as well. We've then duplicated that layer and put that on top, but instead of the hue and saturation on this one, we've added another key light and instead chosen the screen color to be whatever color the gun was. So in this case, it's the orange. So we've checked the orange and that's what's getting rid of there. So now, if we turn this off, you can see that all the orange parts of this now are completely transparent because the plugin's working very well to eliminate all of that color off of that model. So now turn it on, you can see the orange, turn it off, you can just see straight through it. So that's how that's working. So if we hop back down onto models, you can see as we change this, the underneath layer is changing. If we were to get rid of this top layer, you can see everything's changing, which isn't very good, because it's modifying that whole layer hue and saturation. But because we've got that mask on the top, you don't see that, which is quite good. So basically, we're going to have a look here. So he comes out, and then so it's orange up to this point here, where he gets shot. So about there. So about here, we want to keyframe this channel range, move forward some. And then to here, we can change what color we want. So maybe let's go with a blue here. So you can see up to, I'm actually going to get rid of this bit. Where is it? When does it start? There. Right, okay. And when does it end? Alright, let's get rid of that. That was annoying me. Right, so you can see as he runs up here, you've got it in orange, which was its normal starting color. And then he shoots, he comes out, and it's blue, although it's still actually changing at that point. So we might want to move that keyframe there in a bit, so it's changed by the time he gets there. So then he hides away behind the wall. And then comes back to shoot again. That's where the second shot is, so we're gonna keyframe the hue again there and go to where he comes out, and we'll change the hue again. So maybe this time we'll go with the green. So you can see now when he comes out of here, it's into the green. And I believe that's the last one. Oh no, we've got another one here because he actually misses that shot. So we will make another keyframe and see where he comes out the scope this time. And now we'll change it to, what should we change it to now? Purple? Yeah, okay. So we've got orange into blue, into green, into purple. And then that is that. So that is basically the effect there, guys. So what I'm going to do is render this out, put this at the start of the video so you can see what we're working towards. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Obviously, I'll try and help out as much as I possibly can. If you missed anything, just rewatch the video. Go back through it. Make sure you follow along all the way. And most of the steps in here are compulsory as well. Like in some other tutorials, you know, it's kind of like you can miss this bit out and it won't really make a huge difference. But most of what I do in this tutorial, you kind of need to follow along with, otherwise it won't really work, and especially in the right order as well. So but yeah, guys, as I said, hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I hope you can possibly use this in some of your videos coming up. If you do, obviously leave a comment below with a link to the video, or send me a message and I'll have a look at it. So thank you very much for watching again, guys. Have a nice night or day. It's bang on 12 o'clock at night now, so I'm going to go have a cup of tea, hop in bed, wait for this to render and upload it in the morning. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, actually, that's a bit ambitious, maybe a week or so, but yeah, thanks for watching. Toodaloo.